Hello, good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone the world you all are. It's your Blue Archive Gacha Whale, Immer Missime Fish, beginner artist self-proclaimed, and your boy Tosan Yu. Welcome to the stream. For today I will be drawing fan art of YouTuber, the Doog, from Hololive Gamers, Inugami Korone. Welcome. Hello, our random weep. Welcome to the stream. So I will do here my weekly art stream. I do it like every week, at least like one. I try like at least like once, and I do like the art stream just so that I have like kind of motivation to like get my ass up. And it's like I also have like the goal to draw like every single Holo Pro member, you know, and Korone was like indeed like one I haven't drawn before, and she's pretty funny. She's adorable too, you know, so I guess this was like a matter of time. What I like find funny about her that she's like into like cool things or so, you know, like things like when she does like poses, you know, like for after like concerts or like 3D performances, you know, that when she like played like Street Fighter, and then there was like this I don't know like who it was called, but it's like kind of like Ryu but in dark mode, you know, and he had like this kind of pose where he's like showing you his back or so. And then she kind of like did those poses, you know, like in some 3D performances. Do a cute pose, and then she does like this pose instead, you know. Only thing I know about Korone is that she wants your UB slimmer. Yeah, this is like, I think like what a lot of people know, but what I like kind of like yapped about is like something that you know only when you go a little bit deeper in the iceberg, you know. The UB is like maybe the tip of the iceberg, maybe like some other like things that were like clipped, I think. Where she played like Banjo-Kazooie or something like that. This went like viral, you know. Or if it's just like general YouTube algorithm, you know, like the soap thing, you know. Shampoo and then shampoo, something like that. And then afterwards, there was a piece of soap when she started like freaking out there. Also, there's also like this water and fire. How, you know? And she's like known for many things. But it's like still cool that, you know, the UB thing is like still something that gets referenced, you know. She's like a Yakuza, kind of. What I will like try on like drawing of first like some cool pose, but it's gonna maybe like look pretty derpy, so like gonna like see how I can like do it. I was just like thinking about some fighting game or so. I play like a lot of Smash Brothers, and like my biggest, well, like my youngest memory regarding fighting game characters and having impression was like via like playing against Kazuya Mishima or so. I did like lost match, not lost like a set 3-0 I lost or so. And this was kind of a menace. When he gets like you in his combos, you can like die. And yeah, this was like a memory. So I'm gonna draw like this. Like this a pose of like this character, and draw like Korone into like I give her that pose. Maybe gonna look bad at, I don't know. To be honest, I only know it because I have a weird recall of a lot of random clips. Yeah, I mean, it's like the algorithm, right? Right, you know. Oh, you watch like Hololive and some VTubers. Okay, no problem, we got you, bro. You know, and then they show you like some more random clips, right? But I watch like Hololives like since 2019, 2020, around this time, you know. And like VTuber clips there. But like actually watching was like with Hololive English Myth or so. But yeah. And I was like aware of like clips where like around some people like got into it because of Fubuki, you know, like Scatman. Something like that. Yeah, I got wrecked a lot of VTuber clips after watching your streams that time. Wait? Hontou ni desu ka? That's funny. But I guess like the YouTube algorithm picks something up, I suppose. I don't know, have you like checked your YouTube recap 2025? Maybe like the YouTube AI has like gotten a lot better, you know? Into like knowing what we're like into. Like some things they're like not really like that accurate with, you know, but they do get like some things right. And with that like get over our like YouTube or over YouTube recommendations. Like with that. Not sure. But I like checked like mine, but I have like 2 accounts. Like first of all for my streaming channel, you know, and then like my private channel that I use like to like follow, subscribe, you know. I have like my memberships on my YouTube Premium, you know. When I like checked like from my like streaming channel, it was kind of like what I expected, you know, because if I do like karaoke, you know, then I need like some piano versions of like the song or like one without the vocals, and then it was like, oh, you're really much into music, you're like into that. But it's pretty much no, it's like just because it's because of like, you know, the streaming or so. But they do like know what you're like watching, you know, and then kind of categorize that, you know. Then okay, you watch a lot of videos like that, here's more of that, you know. But it can be like, had as advantages, you know. If I need it like for streaming, it might like help me like more of that aspect, you know. The funny thing about the algorithm is that after subscribing to you, clicking onto your streams a couple of times, I get recommended a lot of neo VTubers like Hanami. Okay, neo VTubers. Others like also PNG ones or so. $8,000 subscribers. 8K subscribers. That doesn't sound like a new VTuber. But to be honest, I see like things like, what is that? It's like a video form. They do like a video format. The oldest video is like 2 months ago, huh? Andikoi. Maybe they are a Scratch streamer? Nadikoi. they're from Luxembourg. Okay, interesting. Okay, yeah, interesting. Compared to the millions of subscribers Hololive has, I thought she was new. I mean, 2 months is pretty new, if I can like believe she started like around that time. And then she kept grinding. Well, if it's like that, it's kinda cool, but you know, if not, I mean, it's like also like not bad, right? You got like, you work up for your numbers somehow. Like you can monetize your content, you know, that's like cool. But yeah, interesting, you know, interesting. So like, and the reason why you get like more faces, more what is called that you see newer faces, yeah. Okay, let me see. Well, you say like millions of subscribers, but the cap is like that. The millions of subscribers is at max like 2 million, you know. Only Gorgura got like 4 million or so, and like regarding VTubers, you know, 4 million is like the cap for now. The record has not been broken since then. If we go like to streamers like Aspen Gold, content creators like Mr. Beast, XQC, Markiplier, so then you have like millions of subscribers or so, you know. But VTubers usually are like kind of a niche, you know, like anime, the otaku culture stuff is like its little bubble, you know. It's like not as big as you would like to think. Just like getting 100k is like difficult enough. I said millions by default if it's more than 1 million, lol. Well, if you say like, I have like, I don't know, around 500 subscribers, and you're like, okay, Tosan is followed by hundreds of people, you know, and then technically yes, you know, well yes, but actually no, you know, at the same time. Like the thing is also like the average viewer base, you know, like CQC, not CQC, CVC, concurrent viewers. Yeah, something like that. No, this was called CCV, right? Yeah, concurrent event viewers. Yeah, okay, don't get it right. But yeah, I'm officially the reason why you get like new recommended VTubers. Yeah. The thing is like, sometimes if I decide to like watch my own streams, just to see that what if there's like room for improvement. Sometimes I also like get like some random suggestions, you know. They feel like random, cause it's like VODs, you know, with like 12 views, 100 views or so. It's not like those who are like in my subscriber list, like of subscribers, no, not subscribers, of like channels I subscribe to, or like I have like watched content already, you know, or like what I might be interested in, like anime, like Musume, archive or so, what, you know, or like some cosplayers, idols, VTubers, you know, like indie sphere, or like clips. I have like clipper channels I already follow, you know. But then sometimes it's like, okay, I get like those random one at a few VODs, you know, then it's like, you know, I haven't like really like messed up like the interests on like watching them, but I could like take a look, but at the same time YouTube might get like weird ideas, you know. Hi, Mr. Yu. Hello, Kotomi. Welcome to the art stream. I'm drawing here the Doog, the Yubi girl, Inugami Korone from Hololive Gamers. Welcome, welcome. At least I'm trying. The eyes are like not easy to draw, I suppose. We give them more volume. Cute, I love her so much. He's adorable, right? He's funny and adorable. I love like 3D performances. When I was like watching like Hololive. Not aware like what Hololive is. It's like those concerts I do every year like one time. And she does like pull off amazing performances. Like what I remember from was it this year? I think it was this year. In spring. She did like a double wheel cart or so. This was like kind of cool. Mid-song. And she did like the rapping part as well. It was like a duet with like Okayu. Not really sure if you already saw like some Twitter posts, you know, like there's also a gif of like this kind of double wheel cart, I think. There were like also times where she did like a, I don't know, a roll? Not really sure, but she does like those acrobatic like, or like she shows like how flexible her body is, how sporty she is, you know. Not really sure if I'm like right with it, if she did like anything like a backflip or like a front flip or so. But the wheel carts I remember, like she's so silly here. I've seen some clips from the concerts that look really cool. But regarding concert clips, it's like the free kind of 20 minutes or 30 minutes they can like show. The rest is like, you know, cannot be shown, like only screenshots or like GIFs, you know, but not really like, you know, audio and like the visuals. They cannot do that, you know. Like for people who like paid the tickets, you know, it's like only like for private use, something like that. Still, I like some, you know, can still like travel to the Grand Line, you know, just need like the treasure somewhere there is like hidden by Gold Roger, you know, and then you just have to like find it. Sorry bro, it's like 2 AM here and I need to go to sleep now, or else I will really ruin my sleep schedule. We'll see you next time. Yeah, see you next time. Thank you for showing up regardless. Have a nice rest. Bye bye. But yeah, this is like the state with like Hololive and then like context also, you know, like certain kind of moments. By the way, I used the hashtag yesterday to show you the fan art I made for you. I hope you like it. Alright, then I have to like check it out. I kind of was like this morning, like checking the hashtag, you know, if anything has been posted, you know, but I guess I have like to like take a look again, you know. Alright. The first time the hashtag is getting used. Let's go. Of me. Yeah. It was my first post ever on Twitter. Alright. Well, everyone has like to start off somewhere. I think my first post... was that I received like a Nintendo Switch? Well, not really. Like I think like I posted something, like art I suppose. Not really sure anymore. But I remember like that I got like what I remember like a post, like one of my first posts was like, hey, I got Nintendo Switch in Super Smash Bros, let's go. Something like that. Oh, cute, like the little guy saying yippee, yeah. It's like, you know, when you see like artwork, for example, of like characters, and then they have like the newest gaming console there. This is also like, it's maybe, I don't know if it's a meme, but I think it's kind of cute, you know. For example, the character, the anime character, has a birthday, you know? And then you draw them with like a Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch 2, like, you know, what's like currently like the thing out, you know? And then this is kind of like cute and wholesome, right? Hey, let's go, I got the Switch, thank you, you know, something like that. I think it's kind of adorable. I saw that like with the game development department in Blue Archive, you know, like Yuzu, Arisu, you know, and then they are like, the smile is like shining so brightly, you know, of all the joy, and then, ah, my heart, you know, something like that. Yeah, this is like pretty cute. That's like why it works, you know. As a kid, I would always be happy like when I get a new game console, you know. That means like, yeah, this is a way to spend time and have fun with that as well. I don't always like got the chance to like play on a gaming console, you know. Even like a Game Boy was like a lot of magic for me, even though I couldn't like read, for example. Like as a kid. I think I started learning like to read around the second class. For the most part, I was like pretending that I like know shit, but I actually didn't know anything. Something like that. But then after I like learned how to do it, I was like kind of flexing, yeah, I can read now, you know, but still my writing, for example, even if I could like read, was like still developing, you know. I think it's like math. I think in the first class I was like, you know, elementary school, I still was like really bad, like things. But it's a cool thing to flex, like so valid, yeah. But it's kind of like, you get a new toy, then you're gonna play it all the time, you know, like you're gonna use the card that you've been like dealt with, kind of. But in my case, it's just like, you know, I'm not necessarily like using it, you know, I don't know. It's like It's like seeking for validation, you know, kind of like that. I think this was like kind of a childish thing, but it was okay because I was a child, you know. But if you continue like this kind of habit like in like older years of you know, like in the later years of your life, then yeah. Child being childish and unacceptable. you know, around somewhere you have like to begin, you know, like thinking about responsibilities, being mature, and you know, something like that. I think like when a kid or someone who looks like a kid is actually all mature, you know, they have like some aura, right? This would be like the time where you start aura farming or something like that, you know? Man, they grows up so fast, you know? Something like that. I wonder if like the kids nowadays are like that for now, you know? Like rather than like, you know, having the joy on like, you know, playing games and everything, they learn like how to aura farm like on an early age. Aura farming, lol. Yeah, how would they actually do that, you know? It's also a thing. Like Piccolo, for example, in Dragon Ball, from Dragon Ball, he's super good at that, you know? Even if he gets his ass beaten, you know, man, his aura, you know? Kids nowadays don't have as much aura as I had when I was a kid. Die-hard Miku fan. Ah. Yeah, I think like the Vocaloid songs back in the days were like pretty edgy, you know? Had like to do with a lot of self-harm or like accepting your life, right? You receive your life and then you accept the life. Right? Something like that. They were like pretty depressive. Even though like Miku's like pretty cute, you know, and everything. And then like the figurines, the amount of figurines that are like out there from Hatsune Miku. Like my friend, you know, when we like went to conventions, he and like or like go like to some anime and manga stores, he wouldn't like leave empty-handed. Like always like at least like some Miku merchandise, you know, and then I have a plushie or like a figurine, you know, and you know, there are like so many variations of like Miku, and it's like you're not gonna like really have them all at some point, you know. It's like with VTubers kind of, that you will never like truly watch every single stream. It's like not with anime, like where you can binge episodes that are like 20 minutes or so. Streams can be like hours and hours. So like, even if I find like a favorite, you know, I will also not be able to like watch absolutely everything. Unless... Ah, cute, I have one that a friend gave me. Let's go. It's like always great because there are like so much out there. Like, you know, like, you remember like Hatsune Miku is like in Blue Archive. And even like for the Blue Archive version, she got a figurine, but the price is like in the 3 digits, like, you know, like regarding euro or like dollars, you know. It's like pretty expensive. Like some are pretty affordable, but some are expensive, you know, like the really big figurines. But they're like really well made, they look like pretty. So it's kind of fair that they like ask for a big more money. But you can also like make figurines on your own, you know. You need like pretty 3D printer and then like some art skills in like painting them. There are also like those garage kit series, you know, like those which are fan made, and then they send you the parts, but you have to like build it and like paint it yourself, something like that. I bought like one garage kit figurine of like a Blue Archive character, which is like Miyako from the Rabbit Squad. But I still like need to like learn how to paint like figurines, and also I need like the materials, like the paint itself. I'm like kind of like research like what kind of paint they like use, you know. It'll be like interesting. The happiest Vocaloid song back when was about 2 or 3 people dying, oh gosh. Yeah, figurines are all already expensive, but sometimes it gets ridiculous. Yeah. Just for your information, I like actually like in possession of like some figurines that are like in the 3 digits kind of range. And if I think about it, I could have bought easily like an ASMR mic with that money, you know. But I was like not thinking about YouTube content creation like around that point, you know, like making like something bigger like with my channel. So yeah, that's that. Missed opportunity. You know, it's like you know, go to the casino, bet money to gain more money? No. Bet money to get an PG or like figurine of anime waifu? Hell yeah, you know? You need to know your priorities, you know? It's not a missed opportunity if you enjoyed your figurines. Yeah, I mean, it's always about enjoyment, you know? Like about the slice of happiness in your life. Even if it's like a small thing. It's like a figurine, they're like small. You know, even those, if it gives you happiness, then I guess that's what matters, right? You don't always need like bigger and better. Enough is like good, right? Man, it's so deep, right? Life. My hands are cold and timing's getting hard, lol. Are you outside or so? Soto ni desu ka? Well, I hope you get a chance to get into something warm. In my room, but I forgot to close the windows last night, so it's pretty cold. Yeah. And I guess like each generation is like not like fast enough. Yeah, suppose. For me sometimes I do that, like my windows are like open if I'm like not in the house. Like I keep it like have it open like a little like kind of gap, you know, like if you, what is it's called? It's like not when you open sideways, but like when the little gap is like a little bit diagonal on like the upper part of the window. Something like that. Then it will get cold, but usually if I return like from work or like from shopping or whatever and I get home, it doesn't feel like that cold because maybe like my body adjusted to the temperature from outside. But if I get inside, it's like always feels a lot warmer. Even like if I had like the windows a little bit like to a gap like opened. but I get fresh air inside. I feel like. For air to circulate, that's cool. Yeah, the thing is like, if you always like keep your windows closed, then it can get stinky, you know. Right, that's cool, yeah. And sometimes you need to get outside to like get some vitamins, you know, vitamin D I think. And this should help you with being happy, being productive also. Like that's like a reason like why windows are important, you know, like if you're like in a dark room, trapped there for 30 days, you will get really depressed or something like that. You always like need someone, it's like for mental health or something like that, right? You can't even do that for prisoners, like keep them like locked in a dark room with no light or something like that. You need like the light in some way. While it like works with the windows, you know, like being outside is like much more effective. Like just so 3 minutes, 5 minutes is like, you know, it's like enough. If you don't like being outside for too long. If there's a balcony, if there's like, I don't know, if you like open your windows and like peek a little bit outside, you know, I think this can also work, you know. In some ways you need to touch grass in a way, right? I'm listening to touching grass propaganda. Why, Mr. You, that got you. Nah, I was like for Hikikomori to some part, but you know, the thing is like I'm a little bit happier with my life. Like touching grass might be like a thing about it, you know, but I actually have like reasons to like leave my house because I have a job, you know, and then yeah. And I see like why they're right. Sometimes even like taking a morning walk is like also great. If you have like a pet, you know, like a dog, they need to walk, they need to move, you know. They need like some gymnastics every like at least once in a day. And this can be a excuse sometimes, you know, to get outside, you know, to touch grass. But it's not necessarily that the dog needs it. We need it too, you know. You touch grass and say the J word, you're lost. It's okay, it gets better. But yeah, I feel like a lot more happier for life. And sometimes you can get like some interesting stories, yeah, you can tell on stream, you know. Like if you like touch grass. If you're like inside locked in your room in the echo chamber more or less, you know, you don't like get any new infos or so. Sometimes you have to get out, you know, you get out of your head, you know, and then discover like the adventure outside the world. Of course, there's internet too. You can like read books or so, or whatever, but the adventure's outside, right in front of, like the answers in front of you, something like that. Just like social interaction, well, you don't really have to interact, you know. It's like with like, you know, with streams for example. Or like a street musician or whatever, you know. You can decide to be part of the audience and then like interact with them, or you just be a lurker or whatever, you know. Just like real life, you know. Just like in how in stream chats like these things go, right? I don't have anything against lurking, you know. I'm for the most part also like silent. And I prefer not to talk too much because, you know, when I like stream, sometimes you hear like how my voice sometimes like breaks, you know. And I need to drink water and something like that to like kind of like get my voice in form. Like I usually don't talk much, you know. I like interact with like, I don't know, body language, you know. Like that I not Sometimes I do like a deep knot, you know, like I tilt my body a little bit forward, you know, when I like knot, something like that, that my body language is easier to read, you know. I do use like gestures, you know, something like that. Hey, Tosan, can you bring me that? And then I would point at that thing. That thing you mean? You know, something like that. And then, yeah, that thing. Then I would bring it to them like that, you know. And I don't really talk back or something. I'm just like, you know, it's faster if I just like do what they want, you know. If I bring them what I want, also whatever. But your voice sounds nice. It's really calming. The thing is, like, my voice sounds really different in real life. Because I have to raise my voice actually, you know. Yeah, we opposites, haha, yeah, maybe. The thing is, like, in real life my voice sounds a little bit different because I have to raise it, you know. And I also like wear a mask, by the way. So like in COVID, you know. So it will always like come around a little bit muffled, you know. So people not really hear how beautiful my voice sounds, I suppose, you know. But I'm like fine with that, you know. So far I have like not experienced like something like, hey, I recognize this voice, are you Tosan, you know? So far I never like experienced that, you know, that people recognize me by my voice. But let's say we are like face to face, you know, like in a room. I don't wear my mask. And I can talk like my normal volume, you know. And then people will notice like how my voice sounds, you know, actually. And then they actually comment on that as well. But usually like in daily life, I never hear like, hey, your voice sounds nice, you know. That's why I was like, for the longest time, I had like the impression that I actually I'm not really special, you know? That I'm not special, in a sense. I'm not special, another star, or something like that, you know? It was like humble, you know? I think this was like not bad, you know? But, yeah. But still, I feel like the way to talk in general, not just the tone is calming. I don't know, like, what exactly you mean by that. But yeah. Back in the days, I hadn't had like this positive energy like all the time. And I was like really shy with talking also. Maybe not shy. I'm not really sure. Like, let's say I got like wounded, you know, more or less. And then with that, like a little bit more reluctant. I was more reluctant on like actually talking. Or like doing approaches or something like that, you know, like approaching people. It changed like, you know, like with getting more experience and everything, but you know, like back in the days I didn't like used to like initiate like interactions. If they like break the ice somewhat, you know, with like, you know, like my favorite topics, you know, like my favorite food or, you know, like some whatever like softens you up, you know, and then I would be like more open, you know. But usually I like held back. Nowadays it's like, yeah. It's just like I rather like use gestures than like talk. If I have to talk, then yeah. The thing is like, regarding talking, I don't always have a reason, like nowadays, to like do so. But if people choose to approach me, then I don't have a reason to like reject them, you know. Usually not. If I don't have to speak, cool. If I have to speak, I mean, it's also not bad, you know. But it's like kind of interesting, like for, you know, that for the most times of the day, how many times I do not have to talk at all, you know. And still like, like get along with like my co-workers or like in the supermarket or whatever, you know. I do not have to talk, really. Yeah, we sound like opposites. I'm usually the one talking the most and loudest because my friends are mostly shy. Not really sure, you know, like, if I'm like under friends or so, then people like kind of like compliment on like, man, on like this kind of trait of mine. And sometimes I bring my personality in there, and they, you know, some of the people like knew me as like this guy who like is shy or so, doesn't talk much, but when they like get to see the side of me, they're like, man, Tosan, you've changed, you're like a lot more cheerful now, you know? And then I like that, and then yeah. And actually like my religion teacher also said something along the line that when I like go more out of myself, I will like find success or something like that. I don't know, like maybe they have like some life experience, like some, you know, to like read people like that, but I guess he was like some... my teacher was like, my sensei was like somewhat right there, I suppose. Like, I'm not my happier, you know, and I think this is success. But usually I don't have to talk, you know. That's like the thing. Like, not everyone deserves like to see that side of me, you know. I guess leaving your comfort helps, yeah. Crazy how the topic escalated, haha. I mean, that's fine, you know, this is like how my Satsudan sometimes like go. Like when I start to talk on stream. I never like planned those topics, you know. But that's like what makes it like pretty natural, and like you know, it's not scripted or anything, you know. It's just like real, and it's not like something I've made up also, right? Like this is like why I kind of like enjoy streams, like, you know, and like how real people like can be. But it's cool when I watch the VODs, it's interesting to listen to this type of convos. Yeah. Even if I'm like, for the most part, you know, like in a lot of art streams I like talk, you know. Sometimes it gets like to this point where I like mostly like decide to like be silent, or just like to not sidetrack or so, and then just focus on drawing or so for a while, to just like compress, process, yeah, what has been talked about. Sometimes the topic's like pretty big and then needs like more time, more of a break. But sometimes like if someone comes in, then they'd be like, hey, welcome, you know, and then yeah, then it starts again maybe, you know. But I like more and more like get how the flow is like supposed to go. And like also like in real life conversations. And sometimes it's like, I don't know, you need to get experience somehow to like be able to read the room, I suppose. Oh, right, I get that. It doesn't come like automatically, you know, but if you start to understand it, then, or like be aware of that, you know, then cool. Like nobody can teach you that really. Right, maybe you can get that taught, you know, but you need to be interested in that as well, you know. I'm not like sure about like kids nowadays, if it's like possible for them to like be educated, to like, you know, get educated and so. And also it's like kind of the responsibility of like as adults to like help them in some way. Just like technology, like nowadays, is like way too useful. Not like ChatGPT. Like things like critical thinking or so, it's not really like developed, you know, like, or it gets taught. When like the solution to like the problems is like in your pocket, you know, in a sense. And you don't really need to learn, you don't really need like school or so. You can always like ask, you know, can like pick your little device, open this app, and then you have the solution in a sense, right? And it costs money, by the way, to like get the kids to school in the first place, right? So it would be cool if like the kids would like, you know, use that entry ticket the parent has, you know, gave them in order to like get a good degree and like make something of the future, but you know. Right, you need to experience the things yourself so your own mind can process situations like that. Of course, you need to give your brain also a break to be able to process in the first place. Like a little bit of a break of technology, you know, can be like good. I wish I had a super brain to like to be able to skip like, yeah, you know, taking time to process it, you know, this part. Because our time is limited, you know. But if we can't give our brain like a break, we won't be able to like learn things as well. So yeah, it's like pretty. Screen addiction is no joke, that's true. That's true. It took like for me a while to like learn it as well. But I wonder like, you know, screen addiction, like the things like how apps functions is like a lot more effective nowadays than back in the days, you know. I wonder if the teachers are like able to like help the kids like with that. Like this is a thing or like a problem back in the days we hadn't dealt with, you know. We didn't even need to. But the algorithm is getting like really good nowadays, you know. And then things like internet drama is like now a thing, you know, usually back in the days. What I remember is that drama was like somewhere else, you know. Not like in the internet or so. There were like sometimes a few things, but like not as intensive as like nowadays, you know, like if you have like Twitter or like Reddit or so, but mostly it's like Twitter for now, you know. Even though there are like some hellholes, you know, it can also like bring back positive things. Like I use it like to look at art or like follow my favorite creators or so. But the thing is like when your favorite creators get into like some trouble, you will also like witness that, you know. There's like also not really like a way to get away from that, to be honest. Because like sometimes watching like bad things happen can like fill a lot of your day. It can be kind of interesting, you know, and then this keeps you addicted, you know, and then you get like the fire spreads out to you, you know, like another candle that gets lit, and then it sparks like another kind of, you know, it sparks like the will to like interact, comment, feed the algorithm, you know, oh, this grid generates really a lot of clicks, you know, let's push that to more people, and then, you know, this like kind of like how things like degenerate, you know, in our brains, I suppose, you know. It's kind of like a virus like trying to take over like as many victims as possible, you know, something like that. Maybe this is also about apocalypse in a sense. OMG, I just realized you are doing the whole line on one layer. Yes, I do. I do hate doing actual line art, you know, do the sketch and then do clean line art over there and just forget about the whole sketch thing, you know. Each time a new creator gets dragged into some drama, I lose more hope. Yeah. I don't really post much on like social media, you know. I post art, that's maybe it. And if I have like anything I want to say, I keep it in my bubble, like on stream for the most part. I don't have clippers yet, so there's like nothing to worry really. Unless there will be people who don't have free time, you know, or let's say no, who don't have a life and have a lot of free time to like, I don't know, dig parts out. But even then, I don't think I have like anything like too controversial to say, I think. Like, by the way, like, one rule for me as well, like, on using social media, like, never post if you're like emotional right now. Like, if you are angry or like very sad, don't post when if you're in this state. Like, if you're like emotional, you know, it's like you can get into this kind of heat of the moment thing, right? And then like do really silly decisions and write really silly things that can backfire, you know. Even if you're very happy, you know. It's like also like a thing of you know, of being emotional, and then that can like kind of cloud your decision making. So yeah. Crazy, you're so cool for that. I don't know, man. Okay, maybe I'm super cool for that, yeah, I suppose. I feel like people shouldn't post much about their opinions online. If you say it to your friends, then you can apologize quickly, but Tinder doesn't forgive as easily. Yeah, that's true, they never forget like things. I would like say. And let's say the post goes viral, you know, then this is like how it spreads. Maybe you intended like for only like your bubble to see it, you know, but if you have like, if you happen to have like thousands of followers, you know, then they all start liking the post and comment on that. And the algorithm will pick it up and be like, oh, that seems like pretty hot, let's push it like for more people on the For You page. And then that's like how things escalate. If I stream, however, you know, if you stream, however, like talking like there, then yeah, it doesn't like catch fire quickly, you know. It doesn't expect really. And your bubble, like for the most cases, probably like, you know, like chat reflects the streamer. If the streamer is like somewhat responsible, you know, kind of a cool person, then it will not escalate really, you know. But if you decide to like tweet about a problem like you get emotional about like online, then it can backfire like pretty quickly, you know. Yeah, you are, and you know that. Yeah, maybe I do know, but yeah. Like just talking, yeah, like talking like about things personally is like pretty okay, you know. Like the thing like how online and offline like works is like working differently, like it's like different meta. But I mean, you know that. The strat is like also like when trauma is going on and you're like in the center of like the problem. The art of ignorance is like a thing. But you know, you can like still maintain like get some damage also. I don't know, like people like Mr. Beast also were like pretty untouchable also, or like more or less, you know. But when like the video like, you know, from Dogpack came like out and they like you know, and this like where like some openings in the armors, you know, like some cracks like start to like open up. Even if like after a while like this topic got like forgotten, you know, and actually there was like not really a way to like back up those claims like this guy like did on those videos. Since then people like found it okay to like, you know, leaves like some negative feedback on like Mr. Beast content, you know, like more people found that okay now. It's like also like the thing. Like not addressing the problem, yeah, can help you to like kind of not lose your face even further, but you know, it's kind of like you get an L, you know, no matter what. It's just like not the worst yet, but you know. But the thing is like also if they're alive, good things can still happen, you know. As long as you don't mess up, of course. Untouchable people as untouchable as the public wants it. If they wanted for him to get consequences, he could make it happen, yeah. But even then, people are still human, you know. People will like do mistakes. But humans can also like change, you know. I'm gonna freeze to death. God. I mean, like singing, for example, like helps to like cope with the cold. Like singing can like warm up your body, you know. Of course, exercise can warm up your body too, but singing, like, you know, at least like for me, for example, if like do intensive singing or so, it warms up your body, you know. You like burn a lot of calories of like singing, you know, by the way. You can burn a lot of calories. Let's say like you can burn. But depending on like your living situation, might not be recommended, but it's like just one suggestion, you know. You can like still do traditional exercising or so. Or I don't know, like just move your body. The thing is like the human body generates like warmth, right? Like body, it's like that body temperature. If you move, like you contribute that the room gets warmer, for example, right? Thing like is, for example, if you have like pets like a cat, cats are not able to like generate body warmth freely, or at least they're pretty bad at like conserving it. And then it's like the reason why, for example, like cats start like to snuggle up on you because you're warmer than them, you know. Even though they have like a fluffy, they're like fluffy and everything, they can't like preserve it like really well, you know. Then they need like someone like you know, like a human. There are like many ways like for human to like generate warmth. They can like even like make a fire or so, you know, or like turn on the heat on like the heater, you know, something like that. Or just like putting more layers, you know, and then like start like exercising, you're gonna sweat like crazy pretty hard. You know, it's also a thing. But the thing is like singing, for example, is like warms you from the inside, you know. As well, like starts from the organs and then like, you know, then from the outside. At least like when I did like some intensive singing in my last karaoke stream, or like this last karaoke stream before that, I was sweating, actually. I was sweating. I like karaoke. It's more fun with other people, as I would say, not like alone. How long we in? About 1 hour. Okay, this is the line art. Karaoke is the best thing. It's so fun. It really is like all about the fun there. I feel like that you perform like perfectly also. It can be cool if you do it perfectly, you know. But you can like mess up, or like mess up on purpose, you know. And it can still be fun. Even like singing along with your friends can be like pretty cool. You can like choose like some silly song, you know, and then let's sing all together, you know, with that one. I'm very bad at singing, but it's the fun of it. Yeah, as long as you don't feel ashamed, you know, and everyone is like laughing, has fun, fantastic, you know. And if you keep it up, you know, you're gonna get better naturally. I had like fun like do that with my friends and with my little bro as well. Actually my little bro is actually, he has a lot of confidence, and this is like what carries him. Even though he might not be like at a, you know, he's not an idol or so, just having confidence is like, it's already like enough, you know. And this has like aura, you know. Once I remember my friends chose to sing the national anthem, we were living that song. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let everyone hooked up, be on the same wavelength, and yeah. What do you mean? I'm sure your brother was a new idol about to debut. Like, my little bro. He's like doing stuff with music. And he's like a fan of Japanese music as well. Like, he's an Ado fan, you know? He visits like here and there like some concerts of her. He was in Japan as well. Had like the commitment to like travel to like a different country. Even before me, you know? Didn't even need my help. And even though he could like really speak Nihongo, you know, he still had like the confidence on like, you know, visiting a bar and then like kind of trying to converse like with the JP people there, you know, like with broken English and Japanese. They like both had, he's an otaku, yes, you know, he knows like some things like daijobu, you know, and stuff, but you know, it's like kind of like cool, like how he tried. and he has like a lot of proof, you know. He went like there, did like photos he showed me, you know, when we had like in face, when we like were like in person having a conversation. It was like kind of cool. Idol Ototo? I don't know. And he's like a DJ as well, so that's like where he has a little bit of a background there. So that DJ is like, you know, they're like on those kind of I don't know, like probably you're gonna heard about that discos or like in some kind of parties, festivals. You know, he's like there and he's like in the, he's not really like the center of attention, you know. He's more or less in the background, but also like kind of the main actor at the same time. And you have to keep that up for hours maybe, you know, but you get like, you can get like paid, you know. Oh, cool. He sounds cool, yeah. He's like pretty confident. It's like what's like pretty cool. He's also like, he's cultured in the kind of Japanese music sphere as well. So that's like helpful in a lot of ways. And it's pretty interesting to talk with him. Like back in the days it was like when he was like so young, just a little kid, you know. It's like kind of interesting how people like can change so much if you like leave them like up to their own, you know. If you don't like backseat and handhold them, you know. I'm kind of proud, you know. But you're the coolest, of course. I said that before. Yeah, I know. Now regarding like the voices, you know, or like the voice performance. TBH, my little sister, you know. She's not so much of a weep, you know, to be honest. But her voice, she actually has a good voice. And me and my brother were like talking, man, if she would become a VTuber, you know, she would do pretty good actually. It would be a little bit weird to think like, hey, that's our little sister, you know, and she's like a successful VTuber now, but actually I could kind of see that happen. It's just like, she's not really interested in like that thing, you know, like she's not a weep really. She knows like those kind of things exist, she acknowledges it, but you know, she's not as intensive as we are, like us otakus, you know. But I wouldn't be surprised if she actually would be like a VTuber, you know. Oh my god, I told the VTuber Imoto, Mr. Yu, I didn't know you had such a family. Yeah, they're like kind of like interesting. Even though I don't like know them like too much, like I haven't like had contact with them in a long while because that was not really a reason to, you know. I just focused like on my things and they did theirs, you know. Just like a little bit this year, you know, we had like kind of a reason to attack since like the parents, you know, they went out the house when we had like to help each other out, you know, like the parents were like responsible, like bringing in money into the house, you know, like making food, you know, making sure we don't starve, and like doing a lot of household chores. But when they were like on their vacation and when we are all like there, you know, we had to carry each other, kind of. And it was kind of cool, you know, to like talk with them and like hear about what has changed, you know. Are they working now? Do they, are they still in school? What's the status, you know? Something like that. Like just reuniting like with all the, kind of feels like reuniting like with all classmates more or less, you know? But the thing is like, they are your family, to be honest. And then the bond is like a lot more stronger actually. You know, it's like kind of like this meme all over again, you know, like family, you know, like this Train Johnson also, The Rock, you know, and like this the family thing, right? You're strong, but I got family, you know, something like that. Alright, family is most important, yeah. Something like that, yes, yes. It kind of gives you a reason to like do your best, I suppose. And we don't get like younger, you know. So the parents have like some kind of like countdown going on, you know, like you know, at some point they will not be able to carry us, and then we have like to carry them, you know, something like that. So we're all like doing our part on like proceeding in life, you know. Me too, somewhat. But the thing is like also currently I like live to finance my hobbies, you know, to be able to actually at least stream and like pay my bills and everything, you know. But I lose a lot of free time. I have like barely enough to like be able to stream actually, you know. But it's like still okay. I'm happy, you know. Still things could still be better, but you know, I'm happy for now. And I have like, let's say like enough money like saved up, to be honest, so like in case like I lose my job all of a sudden or so, I have a little bit of a backup to survive like at least like 1 full year, I suppose. So it's like enough time to like come up with something or like find another job or so. Especially like after I like kind of like stop wailing in like gacha games, like you know, that's like why I kind of like was taking the Blue Archive survey and be like, you know, kind of like, okay, I can read now a little bit more, you know. Because I kind of feel like the investments I've like did there didn't really like pay out that much. But you have to do mistakes first and able to get experience, so I guess, yeah. Okay, let's see. There are like buttons there. I think I can simplify it. And we'll get the calling part, I think. The mistakes are necessary, so sad, yeah. But sometimes those mistakes can ruin your whole career, so you know. Oh, 10 years ago you posted like Kenny's music is lit, then holy, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to cancel, you know, something like that. No, I don't know. Something like that. People like decide to like dig up old posts. They like enter like something that's like controversial, you know, and then search for exactly that thing so that they can like kind of pin that on you, or pin like something bad on you or so, you know. There's always like something like that. At least like I might like sure to like not to leave too many traces, I suppose. There will still be something there, I suppose, you know, but I hope this will not be like something really bad like in the next few years. I don't intend like to use social media like that way and like to lose like a vlog, you know, and like share about everything about my life. But I can tell you stories, you know, about my life, like on stream. I think it's more interesting. Like if you need like hours of entertainment or so. Without scrolling. 1,000 years ago you reposted a character from problematic media. You're basically a devil. Yeah. You know? I have opinions, you know? There's some anime that are good. And some anime that are bad. Ooh. And then you can get cancelled for that. Wow. How did you do that? And why is only the inside the drawing? I blinked that you did that. Yeah. Yeah, I did that. You use like a bucket tool or so. Use a bucket tool. First of all, I just like made sure to like do the white totally on everything on the picture, and then like excluded like where, let's say, lines are, you know, like if I do a circle for example, and then do the bucket tool like black, and everything's black, but it's except the orange. And if I decide to like to remove the color from outside this like until like finds like up like kind of a barrier like which is a circle, then yeah, kind of works like that. Oh no, bad anime, how tragic, horrible and terrible. Yes. But if we break it down like that, you know, it's kind of like silly, you know. Personally, I don't really interact with like those kind of things because I kind of like recognize how pointless it is, you know. If people have their opinions, I let them have their opinions, you know. And they still can like change their opinion at some point, you know. So there's like still like hope, you know. Especially if they're young, there's always like hope. If they're like, let's say old people, you know, in a sense of like grumpy old man, and then it's pretty like hard to like change their view. Only if they themselves are like willing to like be a little more open-minded as well. And yeah, then we can like try something out, you know. But in general, like on social media, I know if someone is like of different opinion, then it's not really worth it. Maybe young people, you know, will try to do so because they're like young, they don't understand the world that much, they're like really optimistic, you know, but if that's like how they learn like harsh reality, like via online media, then yeah, maybe they still believe they can like change it, and then they proceed like that thing further and further, you know, like that becomes like their life mission, you know. Okay, I'm born for a reason in this world, I think like it's like because of that, and then I don't know. Like some people, some young people especially, who didn't like really experience like every harshness, every kind of harshness in this world, you know, can like degenerate into like that. Have a little bit of a justice syndrome, you know, hero syndrome or so, something like that. Like people like with a sense of justice, too much of a sense of justice. I was something like that too, but the good thing was like I didn't have internet access, you know. I also spent my time on like making art. You saw like a little bit of like my humble beginnings, you know. And when I showed like my art and be like, I'm gonna be a mangaka, you know? Please cheer me on. This is gonna be the thing I'm gonna pursue the next few years. And then I kinda got roasted there, and then it's like, you know, I got roasted on the internet, and then yeah. But yeah, it humbled me, and then I was like, okay, I do need to learn a lot more. People can have their own opinions just as I can ignore them, yeah. Even if people like believe in the wrong thing, it's like still fine, you know. Let's just let them have their belief. You know, if I think like that, you know, I like, you know, I eat, for example, like pizza Hawaii, but some people don't like pizza Hawaii, you know. Then if they don't like pizza Hawaii, it's okay, you know. Everyone has their own like you know, taste. Some people like disagree with me, you know, like Toast-san, pizza Hawaii is like, it's not supposed to exist, how could you, you know, but you know, I F with it, you know. It's like, it's kind of like interesting, like the combination of like sweet and like, you know, of the sweetness and like the savoriness of like the pizza, you know. Oh, that pizza's amazing. You're so baseless. Yeah, Mr. Yu's talking like an old man, poor guy, almost 70-year-old. Yeah, I could be like that, like in a few decades. And I do like to talk, like, I don't know. I do sound, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not that old yet, but I like to like talk like that, I suppose. When people meet me, be like, "Oh crap, Toast-san, I thought you were like much older," you know, something like that. And then it's like, "Yeah, thank you. It's the nicest thing I've heard." You sound smart, like wise, you know. Yeah, but the thing is like, it's like wisdom, you know? And this comes like from messing up in life. Like, you F around, you'll find out. It's simple. And it just happened to like sound pretty calm. When I was like talking like, let's say like with other trainees, you know, and they said something like, you know, it was not in the sense, man, your voice sounds so soothing or so, I like your voice. So they just said something like, "You Toast-san, you could be like a therapist or so. I think this would fit to you." I didn't really like get why, you know, because I wasn't aware like how my sound really sounded, how my voice really sounded. I didn't like did any recordings or so. The thing is like, you know, if you speak and you listen to your voice, it sounds different than like whatever people hear because the vibrations in your own head or so. And I wasn't really like used to my voice. But I kinda like the idea of like, you know, when VTubers to karaoke and like do the singing thing. And I kinda was like, hey, let me try that too, you know. I would like try to sing a song and listen to the recording and then like, did I mess up, you know? It's kinda like how I kinda like backtrack, you know, whether or not the performance I like tried it was like okay or so. And I think this like kind of like how it kind of adjusted to my voice. I did also like voice impressions also because I kind of like find it funny and like and I think like cool to an extent. And at some point I kind of got used to it. Yeah. In my head I sound like a smart person. but for my part, I don't know what expected of for me to sound like, actually. I don't know anymore. The thing is, like, I'm like kind of comfortable like now with how I sound. And I know like I can sound different. Like depending on like how fast I speak or like how slow I adjust it, you know. If I decide to like slow down with my pace, I can like, I don't know, sound a lot more approachable, a lot more kinder. To animals not so much, because I kind of prefer like if you are like more high pitch or so, like a cat for example is like more willing to go to the women than like to the man, because of like this the volume of the voice or so. I can adjust it of course, you know. It's kind of like when you like praise the dog for example, be like, oh, you did a good job, this was fine, this was good boy, you know, like when you like kind of raise your voice and like adjust the pitch a little bit, rather than like being calm and like have a deeper voice, you know. The animals like a lot more and like do a little more higher pitch or so. But at the same time, me talking this way is exhausting my voice, you know. Like a little more slower pace and like calm. It exhausts my voice. So I kind of like, sometimes my voice breaks and I need to drink water a little bit to restore. Hello, your fellow internet alien. What a name. Hello, welcome to the stream. I'm like trying the Doog Inugami Korone. Welcome. Yeah, voice acting on anime is kinda recognizable. Yeah, yes. The tone is always there. The voice actors are like kind of amazing, you know, that they do like know the how this works, like with like making your voice sound different. It's always impressive to me. But this is like what made me interested, you know, on like trying it like something out of my from my side. And it's kind of pretty fun. And I'm aware I can like also draw, you know, so you can like make something pretty fun with that, you know, like something of you know, there were like I did like watch like Wrong, you know. I'm not really sure if you like know who that guy is. Like he canned animations or something like that. He did like some parodies or so. And technically, if you can also voice act, you can like do silly videos with like characters you've drawn and then just voice them, you know. Like something silly, something like funny that can be entertaining for like 5 minutes or so, right? Like animations, you know. If you can't, then you can like hire people, you know, of course, but it can always like be a little bit fun, you know, like as a little kid, you know, you get your toy and then it's like you have like a mecha and then you have like Godzilla also on the other hand, when you kind of like play out a like kind of scenario in your head, or like, but you play it out with like those things. Actually, YouTube videos can be more or less a playground for those creators, you know, like depending on like the skills and talents they have, and can be quite fun, you know. I kind of like the days back then, you know, like how YouTube was, like it was like kind of a playground to like try things out. And some people could like vibe it and be like, oh man, that's kind of cool, please make more of that, you know. But yeah. I like your little silly little doodles, they look cool. Wow, you have like a lot of like buzzwords here. They're like silly, they're little, but you also say like they're cool. In what way did you got the expression there? Alien. In what way? But yeah, I kinda admit they are like silly, right? Ah, she got a tail, I forgot about that. She's a Doog, so so something like that, but then with a lot of fur. So like this. They're so small yet detailed, and then they have ovo. Okay. I do like emojis, you know? Like those emojis you can like do, the custom emojis. And I do like those faces, so I kinda realized, man, I want to draw faces like that. Oh yeah, actually I can do that, man. Here we are. Enough with that. Relatable? Yeah. The cool cast they're silly? Cow Moji Psycho, yes. Like any kind of Kaomoji you can think of, you can practically like apply that to like the GB, you know. Of course it has to capture the energy somewhat, but you can like technically like apply everything you can like create on your keyboard, like with your keyboard, like onto the face. Even though I do lack a little bit of like, let's say the know-how, it's still like somewhat doable. Like in the body language also, you know, I do something with that. And VTubers are pretty silly, you know. Like cow emojis are silly and funny, but so are like VTubers, you know. So you can actually make something with that, to be honest. It's like where it like comes to play for my side, you know, when I draw like them. Some VTubers are like really say-so, however, but we all know we have like this kid inside of us, you know. We all have like our silly kind of traits. Even I have like a little bit of silly traits, you know. Usually my default sounds like pretty calm. I used to be like very energetic, and then this didn't really like fit to like the calm kind of persona I've like, or like let's say avatar I like used back in the days. And I kind of switched it up to like look more derpy and silly, but and also a lot more calm. It's kind of like a mismatch energy, you know. But yeah, it's like that. But with like VTubers, you know, I can always like match it up, you know. Especially those that are very chaotic. Korone is like more or less like the VTuber I draw here, like the VTuber fan I do, is more or less like that. So yeah. You a little silly? Wrong, very, very silly. Okay, you're right. And this is why I'm alien. Being normal is boring. It's just fitting honestly, giving other details. Well, being boring is not like wrong, I would like say. Like being, what is like boring? Being normal? Being able to read the room? Also, being able to be tolerant with other people, is that boring? Like, what's your definition of boring? It's kind of like, you know, when people ask you, is a hot dog a sandwich? Ask them what they define under like a hot dog, you know? Like under a sandwich or so. Like what the definition is, and then you kind of like answer like the question properly. And it's gonna be like kind of a tricky question, and like that's like not really like, worth to like pursue any further, you know? Something like that. Also, I am autism touched. What can I say? Normal is my trait. Okay. Boring is not like liking pineapple in pizza. Is that how you think it is? Yeah. Maybe it is not normal to like pineapple in pizza. To like pizza Hawaii also, huh? The real question is hamburger sandwich. Wait, what do you understand under like a sandwich? Let's come to that, you know. If you say like, yeah, it's just like 2 slices of bread and something in between, if you say it's like that, then hamburgers are sandwich by definition, you know? And hot dogs are also like sandwiches by that definition, you know? If you like categorize it like that, if you would like categorize it like that, you know? Yeah. It's kind of easy to answer, you know? You know what? I'm not draw your city, man. I like your vibe. Alright, thank you. I appreciate it. Well, I didn't know like what was silly, like exactly what like, but yeah, I suppose. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's like this confused meme, you know? Like, you know, where like the boss is like handshaking like employee, and the employee looks like kind of confused, you know? Didn't know like what he accomplished. I kind of feel like that. Wait, let's do everything here. But to be honest, even if you're like not in the know of everything, I suppose it's like fine. Sometimes like ignorance is like bliss, you know? Let's say ignorance is bliss, you know? It's like not a sometimes. Like knowing too many things can be bad, you know? Like yes, knowledge is power, you know? But the more you like know, the more like power you wield. And the thing is also like with great power comes great responsibility, you know? And sometimes you're not able to like wield that power properly, you know? People are gonna be like, haha, I know more than you know? Right? Something like that. Be like, you're nothing, you're below me, hey, you know? Something like that. And just like, kind of like wield that, like kind of like dangle that in front of like other people, you know? And then yeah, this is like also like a way to abuse your power, you know, something like that. And you get like a certain reputation with that, I suppose. Even if you're like technically correct, you know, like that you know more, it's also like not correct, right? It's kind of like Inuyasha, you know, like people die if they're killed, you know, like this kind of thing, like this character. It's kind of like that, but you know, ignorance can go our way, but honestly I prefer it in some cases. It's nice sometimes, lol, yeah. OMG, are you Spider-Man? It's just like a good quote, right? It's a really good quote. And it applies to like a lot of things like in life. Knowledge is like some kind of power. That would mean he's Uncle Ben? Alright, oh gosh, no. No, I'm not Uncle Ben. I'm just Toast-san. I'm not OG-san yet, you know. I'm a Toast-san. It's okay, I forgive you. I haven't done anything yet. Don't arrest me, officer. I haven't done anything wrong with my power yet. I believe I did not so far. Officer, this guy here. No, don't take me. I knew you were 17. Where is this coming from? I'm officially 17 now. I'm just a little guy. Come on. It's my birthday. Come on, man. Well, I had like birthday the last week, so maybe I'm not 70, I'm like now 71, huh? How about that? Right, your birthday already passed. 17-year-old OG-san. He's just a little guy! Yeah. But I think like, you know, if you age, you actually get like smaller, by the way. Especially if you have like really bad posture, you know. So yeah, things can happen in age, like with old age. Like I was like in a retirement home. I did like some kind of trainee there. Just to like see like how it is, you know. It's just kind of like, you know, like being the tip of the iceberg, like of the job. And diving a little bit deeper, you know, like in the inner things. And actually like a lot of old men, they do shrink. Like you don't, like there's at some point like a cap and like growing. And you gain experience, yes, but even if you like learn something really important, it might be like too late at this point to like change, you know? Like, if it's like a kind of decision you like regretted, you know, doing. When it's just like, kind of like the message, you know, man, if I just have been kinder to like other people or something like that. You know, like, I say like, you know, but the thing is like, sometimes I do get videos recommended, you know, like, wisdom from like old people or so, you know, like that they share like their wisdom and knowledge to, you know, like in a video form. Like, whereas people like did kind of like that, they ask like their seniors, you know, do you have any advice for the, you know, like what to share, and then just like, you know, be kind to other people, you know, something like that. Or like be kinder to them. When they're too old, you know, maybe people have already passed and they can't forgive them, something like they can't like ask for forgiveness or like apologize to them, you know, something like that. I also like think about like that, and it's like there are like some things I cannot I can't like find the people anymore, you know, to like say, hey, I'm sorry for that, you know. And if I think like about karma and like something unfortunate happens to me, it's like, I think like somewhat connected, you know. Like if I get a bad gacha pull or so, or if I like lose in like a video game, I kind of be like, yeah, I guess I've deserved that, you know, sometimes. Maybe like if you get old, you know, it's like kind of the realization, you know, like when your life is like fading away, that you had like a lot more, that there were like a lot of things you could have done better, you know. But at this point you can't like do anything, your life passes away and then it's game over, you know, something like that. And imagine like, you know, something like that, where you like our soul are like rising up into a new height when you see like, I don't know, if something like that is like there, you know, like when you complete a level, when you see like the stats on like the most amount of like damage, the high score and everything, you can like maybe like see what you have accomplished, something like that, you know. Maybe it's like for the old people as well, you know, like when they see their life pass by and like they think about what they did achieve, what they accomplished in life, you know, something like that. Maybe it's like that, you know. You already went to a retirement home? Oh god, you're 90. Like, I'm cooked, I have a posture for shrimp, oh gosh. That's cool that you were trainee there, sounds like a opportunity to grow. There's stuff that can be forgiven with time. Like our video games, I thought I had to open up VGM. Okay. Yeah, I think like, you know, it's more understandable if you like talk it like in a gamer kind of way. I like your accent, it sounds nice. Wonderful. What do you like about it? I like Omori, it's a fun game. Yeah, I played it too. It was like the most popular live streams I had, like, but I think like a lot of people were like interested in like the first stream or so. Like wanted to see if I opened the door or not or so. Something like that. Because I kinda like did that too, you know, like, hey, did I open the door or not, you know, something like that. Like see which like route they will go. And if they like did the right decision, then it's like, okay, it's gonna be the beginning of a great story or something like that, you know. But to be honest, even though I only did one ending, I kind of think like I know like how the other endings will go, so I don't, you know. It is like game with a really strong message, you know. Then yeah. I like how you talk. I don't know how to explain. It's like ear candy. Very nice sounding. Yeah. If I like get excited or so, or like I play a game and I get like more, I don't know, more toxic, maybe your fantasy, your world will like break apart or whatever, you know. Like, Oh man, it's not ear candy anymore, it's like, I don't know, rock and stones. I tried playing Omori, but it was too emotional for me, TBH. Yeah, it's a game with a very strong message, you know. And it made me like think for like days afterwards, but I did get the message, you know, that it like tried to like tell, and yeah, it's a pretty good game. Yeah, it'll do that, lol, but it's okay. He's lying, he's lying. I'm not always the ear candy, you know. Like sometimes I do get excited. That's like why I look like this, you know. To be honest, I decided like to look like this, like have this avatar, because I kind of think like the energy is like mismatching, you know. But now I'm like mismatching the energy again, you know. I sound like way too calm for looking to look like that. But yeah, maybe it's some other update or so. But I like gonna think if I gonna keep it like as a PNG again, you know, that can like move. Yeah. I think the chibi match is good. Well, I'm like a silly little guy, so maybe this is like fitting, you know. I'm just a random guy on the internet and a little bit silly. I guess it's like okay. We're all like a little silly in the end. Like even the VTuber I like draw fan art of is like also a little bit silly, but this is like a match. It's like matching to her, you know. And she's adorable, so I guess it's fine. Shampoo. Shampoo. Water and fire. Ow. But maybe change the hair to grey, you know, since you're 90. How am I still alive if I'm 90? I mean, they're like people who like got like to triple digits of her age, right? But the average like life expectancy is like about like, I don't know, 70 years old or so. And even though let's say I haven't like technically reached like 70 years old, I do notice how my body starts hurting more and more. Like I think like age is catching up to me, you know. And yeah, you need to like start like doing fitness and everything to like keep yourself like healthy and afloat. Silly in a good way? Don't worry, that's a compliment. Alright, fantastic. Well, if you're like up for that, then you're gonna have like a lot more to experience in the future. And if you can't wait that long, there's still like VODs from the past, you know. OMG, you're already dead then? Oh no! Well, this just like means I have to like start doing fitness, you know. A little bit more. Like not only eat good, but also like, you know, train your body. Like posture's like important, but that alone is like not enough, you know, if you're not able to move. There was like in a retirement home like that, the training in like one old man who has like a really good posture, you know. But even if like the body technically is like not in a shrimp kind of position and everything, your mind still like suffers, you know. Like you maybe like get slower like processing things. At least like he was a little bit of a slow poke for me. But the body was like, holy crap, he has a wonderful posture, you know. He kind of was my favorite a little bit, you know. But when there are other people who are like more sane and then they had a really nice smile, you know, something like that. And some people had like a natural charm to them. Like, I don't know, it's like humans, you know. No way you gonna love humans as a human person, holy crap. But yeah. It was like kind of like nice interacting, you know. Did I, you know, like regarding like seniors giving like sharing their wisdom. Did I get any kind of wisdom drops, like wisdom nuggets of wisdom? Yeah, do you call it like that? Nuggets of wisdom from them? I don't think so. With some, I couldn't like hold like a proper conversation or so because they were like they had like dementia or so, you know, already. Their mind is like deteriorating. There was like 1 or 2 who were like saying enough, but one of the ladies, you know, they started to like degenerate. And all they could like do was like staring blankly at the ceiling at this point or so. Something like that. Like one day they were like still normal, and then the next day they're like in this state or so. It's kind of like sad. And I really like enjoy talking with them, was like the thing. And this can like happen like with my parents, for example, as well. Or like with anyone else like older than you. With respect. So yeah. Embrace life, I suppose. Like the hardest part of life hasn't like come for me yet, you know, like that you lose like people you care about, for me at least. Okay, maybe, you know, because VTuber creations, you know, 2025 has been a hard year, so maybe I did survive like the hardest things yet, you know. I love how this one's turning out. It reminds me of this one VTuber you tried a bit ago, the one with the white hair and wings. Kanata? Kanata. He's graduating like this year, 27th December. That's like next week already. Wow. Holy crap. Tomorrow in a week. Just a week away. It's Christmas. Just 1 week away. Can you believe it? Christmas! I'm so excited about this information. Holy crap. Christmas. Can you believe it? Oh. Just 1 week away. Embrace life with with cookies and hugs. If life decides to give you lemons, it may be really confusing, but make lemonade. Yippee! 2025 was totally the year of gradations. I'm heartbroken. Life is full of goodbyes in the end of the day. But even though it's still like worth to keep on like continuing life, you know, like don't start a new game plus or so, just continue, you know, something like that. And good things can still happen, you know, like the next episode of the anime you're like watching, or like new manga chapter or whatever, you know. Or Expedition 33 is gonna be like Expedition 34 or like Rule 34, I don't know. Probably they have like a hashtag like that. But yeah, whatever. But yeah, they're like things you look forward to. Like some new memes, you know, maybe like things like aura farming is gonna be outdated, you know, or like things like skippy toilets like no more when like there comes the next curse thing, you know. Like life has like a lot of things ready for you, whether you like it or not, you know. But regarding the things that are like of worth, there will be surely like more out there, you know. You saw that meme too? I saw it this morning. It made me laugh. Christmas, just 1 week away. Yeah. I remember like roughly like this meme, you know. This copy pasta kind of, you know. I remember roughly. It kind of like fit. It just fitted in that moment, I suppose. Lemma was real a hashtag? No, I don't think so. But you know, expedition 33 and then there's rule 34 or so, no. It doesn't take much to like be creative, like to make like some pun with that, right? Maybe like expedition 34 in this case. You know, when people like talk about this indie game, you know, that got like that won the Game Awards, you know, I was like confused at first. Was it expedition 33 or like 34? Because I had 34 because in mind because of the rule 34, you know, something like that. And rule 34, if you know, you know. It's like what kind of confused me. But now that I see like more and more of like expedition 33 in my timeline, you know, because you know they won Game Awards, you know, it's like okay, now I know. If they didn't won the Game Awards, maybe it would like be forever like expedition 34 for me, you know. When people think like maybe that I talk like about some corny ass crap in this direction, you know, and like maybe this like saved my face, I suppose. This is I think the good timeline we are in, despite like VTuber gradations. That's crazy! Rule 34, fish in a bird cage. I do remember like something roughly, you know, like when PewDiePie was like, had like, I don't know, if probably he had like a video like that, and then he kind of like was trying to find out if there's like a way to search something on this page that will like show that this doesn't exist, you know, like he tried something like, okay, I'm gonna type in like shopping carts, you know, like Rule 34 is like, when that thing exists like in the world, then there will always be part of it, you know. He tried like shopping carts, and then there was like something that kind of reminded of like intercourse, you know. You know when like you go to the supermarket, how there are like a lot of like shopping carts lined up. Technically, this is like how two shopping carts connect with each other. And then he's like, damn it! You know, something like that. And kind of like, okay, next try, you know? Something like that. There was also like something with countries, you know? Okay, Italy, you know? It's like, but the thing is like Italy looks like a big feet, you know? That's like kicking a ball. And then there was like something connected, you know? That it's like connects into like another country like that. And then it's also like, yeah. So even if you try like to outsmart Rule 34, for the most part, it got you covered. It got your back. But when he like entered like I think like a cake, you know, the ass, when there was like no like result, for example, and then okay, we beat the game, you know, something like that. It was kind of a funny video. It was silly, but you know, it was fun, you know. And like really showed like how entertaining like things could be without like optimizing stuff too much, like getting sponsors or so, you know. I kind of appreciated like, I don't know, but he kind of like covered a hentai game, you know, and he got even sponsored for that. It was like good times of like YouTube back in the days. Now everything has like is optimized, like that things have like, I don't know, like the POC phase, reaction phase of like, you know, to like make people click on the video or so. But you know, YouTube was like pretty fun back in the days. Oh, you graduated? Congrats, man. Oh no, sorry, I was talking about video progressions. Okay. It's impressive how many things there are in Rule 34. Yeah. There are like many things out there. But they don't have everything, so you can like beat it in a sense. But even if you enter my name, nah, there's not point of me, but like probably like something of like, you know, Tosa means like dad, Japanese, you know, so probably there's like something similar like that, you know. Everything, I want cupcakes, I'm gonna make cupcakes. Everything looks professional like fake. I like the spontaneous chill and silly YouTube. Yeah, like YouTube nowadays, YouTube back in the days are like different. You could like say that the old times were like better, but at the same time, the current times did like give us some gold, you know, every now and then. There's also AI, you know, but I think like it's really about how do you use it, you know. It's like similar like with guns and weapons, you know, like it's not the thing itself that's bad, but probably like how you use it, you know. But how do you regulate it is also the thing. I'm sure there's some Rule 34 of OG-san, I'm so sure you are there. Ooh, I hope not. Yeah, I mean, why not look for it, you know? Why not look for it? Maybe there's something, maybe not. But it's like a roulette, you know? It's like a gacha. Either you like find something that fits your imagination, or you're gonna get traumatized forever. Like, it's up to you. It's up to you. Yeah, I mean, I feel like AI shouldn't be that easy to access. But I don't like know what you can do to regulate it actually, you know. Usually like the streamers like in the future, you know, we're gonna have robots like doing things for us, you know. Like the AI is like doing our mundane, boring tasks. But we can like focus on like doing the cool things, you know. Actually, I felt like a Roomba, you know, but the thing is like they don't work anymore, so I think like technology has its limits. At the same time, if you think like about technology, like flying cars, you know. It can sound cool in theory. This would be like a sign, hey, humanity has evolved. That can like do something like that. But there are also like some problems if we're gonna have like flying cars. Like how high can we like fly with those cars, you know? Like what's the maximum height? Like that we have cars already is like good enough, but if like things develop like in a way that there's like air traffic, this can be like hard to regulate. Imagine if people like drop things from like from this height, you know? Like a bomb. Oh my gosh, you know? This can be like pretty like dangerous. So maybe like flying cars might not be like the best idea. Even though I think technically we could like do something like that, you know? But like crimes will like evolve, like being able to like commit crimes will like hit like a next level with that, you know? It's also like something to think about. Like the way how you use a tool. The tool itself is not bad, but you know, the potential damage you can like do is like always like the thing to worry about. It's maybe like why certain things do not get invented. Even a time machine, you know. Like we can already clone people, you know. Exactly, I think that I could be helpful in the medical field in theory, but once they've affected properly. But with art and music, no thanks. Leave that to us. Okay. A bomb or bad Kaboon? Okay, but hear me out, flying cars would be so dope. Yeah, it sounds like technically like interesting, you know. And we can like show like, let's say like, technically if we can travel back in time, like show to other people, hey, we're gonna have like cars in the future, you know. When it's like, holy crap, you know, we can have like things like Star Wars and everything, you know, and like lightsabers and like the Death Star and everything. We can build a planet on our own, you know. But yeah, but I guess like most of the things are like in our mind and like in fiction. But it's like cool to think about it, you know, like about future advancements. I was having too much delay on YouTube, my Wi-Fi's dying. Yeah, you know, on Twitch side, okay. We already flying cars, let me present you to airplanes. Yeah. Yeah, technically, yeah. But it's like really expensive to like fly an airplane, like as a passenger, you know. And if you want to be a pilot, it takes like a lot of training. And like some degrees or so. Maybe like a special recommendation Harvard level or so, I don't know. But I think like it's like a pretty difficult and long process. But once you get there, you get like paid really well. And airplanes are pretty safe to like travel in. Korone looks so cute. Yeah, she looks cute. I'm not sure if like it's done yet, you know. Technically I can do more about it. Maybe like with shadows and lighting. Actually, let me do lighting. Let's see what I can do with that. It's like a lot of basic colors. I haven't like done anything special yet with like the whole image yet. And then like this. Let's see if I overshot anything. Actually, this is... yeah, this should work. Then erase it where I don't need it. I'd assume the same for flying cars. Flying rules are different than ground rules, honestly, lol. Yeah. You'd also need like a lot of like fuel to be able to like make it possible. But if we have like something like, I don't know, if it can only like work with like a battery, an akku, some sort, you know, generator, this would also be like kind of like interesting, you know. But for now, the Earth is like suffering, you know. We have like global warming, like things like atomic fuel, you know, for example. We can't rely on that too much, you know, like nowadays. Even though the idea is like cool of like creating like those things and making like technological like advancement there. What I find, for example, cool like regarding, you know, Star Wars, when people like do the lightsabers, you know, like not actually a laser lightsaber, you know, like that's kind of like cut through things, but you know, usually like in cosplays, for example, they do like that they're like sticks, you know, that you like or like multiple plastic cylinders, you know, that they're like kind of like it's like with those police buttons, you know, like that you like extended, you know. But like actually like a lightsaber, you know, that it's like looks like actually like a lightsaber rather than like a plastic kind of stick, you know. People actually like made it like work more or less. Like someone, I saw like a video on our Instagram reel or something like that, and it looked like really convincing, pretty like cool. They use like some chemicals or so, whatever. Not really sure like what they did there, but it was kind of like interesting, you know. And this was like a really good cosplay. and it was like in a convention or something like that. So you know, usually, you know, like those securities, you know, like at the big like around the entry, you know, like when you like at a cosplay convention, for example, you're not allowed to like actually like carry weapons in there, you know. So this kind of lightsaber what had like passed the like test, you know, so it's like nothing like lethal, like that can hurt anyone, but still like interesting, like that they made like something like, of a lightsaber, you know, like it's like a big stick, you know, like something of a big stick, and then actually a beam comes like out, but it's like practically like a thing that's like physical, not like you know, like some kind of energy. This was kind of interesting, I was thinking. And actually like it actually did glow like a laser, you know. I found that pretty cool. Hear me out, bubble fuel. I like the highlights you're doing, they look so nice. Oh yeah. Well, I'm still a beginner artist. Self-proclaimed, you know. I'm still like trying, like finding my footing and like lighting. I have to like kind of think where the light comes from and then like where it reflects, but also I need to make sure that doesn't like look ass, you know. It's something like that. If it's just a circle, it's kind of like easy to think about like okay, I'll apply it like that, but the thing is also don't make it look shitty, you know. So it's kind of also the issue like there for me a little bit. Maybe I can like trim down on the shadows, you know, but yeah. Oh, I just add lights or shadows where my heart tells me to. I go for feeling, you know. Yeah, same more or less for my case. I'm gonna like see. I like apply like light there where I think like it comes. Maybe I like do it on the eyes as well, you know, like make like gleaming eyes, you know, something like that to give them a little more aura. Usually I go like for that like, you know, like the anime thing, you know, like when the eyes of like the character are glowing, and then people are be like, this is like what they see, like when they feel like in danger, you know, that like the other eye has like aura or something like that. But like when Inugami, you know, like when Tamama Cross is like in the white lightning mode, when they all like actually see like some white lightning, like thunder stuff like sparking around the race course, you know, and then holy crap, this aura, you know, she's the one who roots the race course right now, you know, something like that. Korone beam, like she's going Super Saiyan, yeah. But yeah, she's like silly, but also, you know, pretty cute. While she like doing those cute, actually cool poses, you know. She did like, got inspired like, for example, like by, I think like Akuma, you know, Street Fighter Akuma, where he did like his winning pose, you know, like where he shows his back. And like lifting up the shoulders and then like showing your back or something like that. And she was like, wow, I want to make that pose, you know. And then when there was like the 3D performance or so, be like, hey, making one cute pose, and then she did like this Akuma pose, and then, you know. Or like when you go like to the official Hololive page, you know, and like look for Korone, she did like the what's he called? Kamen Rider, yeah, Kamen Rider pose, you know, as well. Kamen Rider's like pretty popular in like Japan. She's Korone, truly unique, yeah. What I gave her is like the one of the poses like Kazuya Mishima from Tekken does, you know. The backstory, like why I'd like draw like something Kazuya Mishima related is because I went like to a tournament. I played like against the best Kazuya Mishima player in my country and I lost. Technically, the character I play wins against Kazuya Mishima because I play like Kempa type, you know, like Guile and Street Fighter. And he's like winning against like those who are slow, you know. Technically just like zone him out, do like Sonic Boom, we feel like does an aerial approach, then do Flash Kick, you know, as anti-air. but for some reason he found the opening, he got momentum, and just died. And yeah, a little bit trauma. And now that it's Korone, I'd be like, this is the menace I like facing, you know? Kazuya Mishima. And then, you know, but it's Korone, you know? This danger, this little Doog. Sonic Boom, Sonic mentioned. No, this is a special technique like Gal does, you know? Like when he's in crouching mode, and then he shoots like some energy blast like to his opponents. Either like slow, long lasting, or like fast and like quick and fast, you know? Like the speed how you like throw the energy projectiles, something like that. OG-san's dark backstory, yeah. But man, you know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna fight Kazuya Mishima. Damn, Kazuya Mishima got hands, you know, like that. Kazuya Mishima wins. Kinda like that. Damn, like that meme, he needs some milk. I don't know that meme, but I guess if you want to see it like that, then yeah, you can see it like that. Actually, what if I only draw the shadows, not the light? Maybe like set including lights is easier than including the shadows or so. Well, if I feel like it's gonna feel wrong, I'm gonna erase everything. But I suppose I'm gonna erase now. Like, I think I want to keep it like dark for the most parts here, rather than like light. And just gonna trim down like the lighting a little bit, yeah. Something like that. Okay, you don't know the mythical moment in history? No, I don't know, I suppose. I drew you, or were you still in sketch form? I got a render, lol. Added to the art tag, yeah. I have an art tag, yes. Like, if you go to my Twitter, I have it like kind of like listed there. Like a fan art hashtag. On Instagram, not really. Because like, I do know like for Instagram like hashtags are a thing, but I don't use it that much. I just post my own images, you know, like my own fan art, and then like fan art I drew for like for video, and then I call it a day. Sometimes I upload them, sometimes I forget about it, and then you see like, oh, I post like art every 2 weeks instead of like every week or so. My upload schedule is like not that consistent. I'm not a machine, I'm not a machine, I'm a human, you know. Okay, and then overlay. Like for lighting effects you need like 3 layers or so. It's okay if I tag you in my community stream. I don't have any other socials, unfortunately. I mean, you can do it too. Some of the artists who like follow me and drew fan art of me, they just DM me, for example. Sometimes via Discord when they're like new, where they can find me, or like Twitter, you know, or Instagram even. It started raining, it's getting colder. Oh my gosh. I remember like when I was like taking a vacation in like Southeast Asia, you know. The thing is like things like isolation, for example, was like not. Is it called isolation? Yeah. It's like, you know, like regarding the architecture of like the buildings, you know. In like Japan, like with the slide doors, the paper doors, you know, something like that. And like how the air circulation goes in there. Like especially like the doors, that the sliding doors, you know, they don't really like close that well. Like that's like not soundproof, you know. And also like there's a little bit of a gap that can like air can like circulate through it, you know. It's kind of like the mystery, like how do they survive like winter, you know, like how can they make sure that they like don't freeze or so. It was kind of interesting, like I'm looking through the architecture and like how they kind of solve it, you know. For the most part, it's just like, yeah, just get more heating, you know, in there or something like that. But to be honest, like they really could like improve like some of the architecture, you know, even though technically it looks exotic, you know, as a tourist, you know, you can like make photos, oh, thing, and then thing in Japan, holy crap, you know. But actually there are like some things that are like less developed there, you know, even though some people think like, oh man, the Japanese people, that is the future, you know, and then holy crap, I got this thing in there. And but technically they're like a little bit worse off than we are sometimes, you know. And like soundproofness, like if you have like neighbors or so, they can hear you, even if you speak like, if you speak a little bit loudly, you know, and you have actually to whisper to like not disturb them, you know. It's like, well, some streamers in, you know, Hololive, you know, when they are like in their prime time, where it's like evening or like even midnight, why they kind of like are less energetic or so, that they don't be like in a loud voice and everything, you know, that they keep it toned down. It's like kind of because, yeah, the isolation, you know, like it's not really soundproof. It's kind of, yeah, no, something like that. Backstory. That sounds cool, but not really useful, yeah. It's just like kind of the aesthetics, you know, rather than like, in like same material, you know. Like with the paper thing, you know, something like that. And like sliding doors. Like sliding doors, they save a lot of space, to be honest, you know. It really saves space. Like a door, if you like open normally, then it kind of like travels in a certain arc, you know. And then it occupies a lot of space. But if you do a sliding door, it's just like sideways, you know. And you can like work with that a lot better. A lot better, yeah. By the way, I also have like a sliding door in my apartment. I don't really use it, I just keep it open the whole time. But the idea of that is like kind of cool, you know. And actually it doesn't really like waste any kind of space in my living environment, yeah. I do remember like using it, I think, a few times when I went like to my parents' restaurant. It was kind of like neat. They don't run the restaurant anymore. Business didn't went so well during like COVID. Curse, goddamn COVID. But yeah. But you know, things are still like going well because they're alive. And there's still like ways to like gain money. My dad did like a lot of different jobs like back in the days. I kind of like more or less repeat his like timeline, you know. Like that I also like do a lot of different jobs, and even like if they don't pay well, you know, it's like kind of like enough to make a living, you know. some more or less like that. The only difference is like that I stream and I can like draw and so. But to be honest, my dad can low-key draw actually. Like when I was a kid, you know, I did trace a lot of like things, you know. And then my dad was kind of like more or less, step aside, boy. Let me do that. And then he did like something a lot better than me. You know, I was kind of like drawing a Pokemon. I think like Lugia, you know, like the dark form, like in the GameCube version. I think like Pokemon DX, you know, Dark Storm or whatever. I tried to draw the Lugia, and then my dad would like let me do that, and then actually he did a lot better like art piece than I am, you know. Now I'm drawing, you know, currently. Sometimes I post my things on like social media, and then my dad be like, man, I like that, what you like draw, you know, you're really good. But when I think like about the past, you know, about this one kind of interaction we had, I'd be like, bro, you know, I think you're better than me actually. Kind of. But yeah. By the way, while I tried like tracing, he did not trace, you know? This is just like free flow by hand or so. I don't know. He really seemed like an expert to me in my, like in this moment, you know? And I was like, wow, thank you, Dad. This looks really amazing. Holy crap, you know? I like rain. It smells good. Off topic art MBA. Okay, yeah. But my dad would help me a lot. Help me a lot of things. Nowadays he's like not more cheerful, so. But back in the days he was like really like, I don't know, a little more of a straight man. And low-key cool, I would like say. But I guess like age comes like towards him, he thinks about life, like, you know, like how life passes him by, and then like, you know, I gotta be more kind to him, you know, like I have like more time now, something like that. When he reaches out to me, hey, do you need anything, you know? And like sometimes he shares like, I don't like pictures with me, you know, or like some useful tips, gadgets, like some like some Facebook shorts. No, he's still on Facebook. It's like the site like boomers you like use, I don't know. And I was like like a little bit surprised, man. You know, we have like YouTube shorts with Instagram reels, but Facebook has that now too. Holy crap, you know, things like that. Well, your dad isn't straight. Did I hear that right? I mean, feel like I mean like full support, but I just got confused now. It's just like straight man, you know, like things like when there are like a lot of idiots in the house that they really are straight men, be like, don't, okay, you know, cut it out, you know, something like that. That they're like those people who are like that are more sane, you know, and that when a screw is loose, that they like, you know, make sure that it isn't loose, you know, something like that. When, you know, he's the hammer, every problem like we are like nails, you know, he just like has to beat us down, you know, something like that. Sorry, I'm back. Hello back, I am Tosan. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think like I could give those light things like also a little bit of lighting, but I think it's good. Let me see. Can I apply it to this? No, it can't. Alright, never mind. Then what I can do is like I'm not really sure. Probably I don't need that layer. I think it's good already like that. Maybe gonna do something like color adjustments, but not really sure like how I can do it on multiple layers like that. I have to like bend whatever. It's good enough. Mr. You, don't make fun of me. Ah, how mean, horrible, terrible, yeah. I don't like know on which topic we are right now, but yeah, I just gonna nod and smile. Kinda looks cool. And badass. Actually, let me add something in the background. I think like I have like a little bit of idea what I can do there. I'm just gonna do the usual like with the color splashes. Based on her eye color or something like that. There's like... Okay. Fukihira Mama did like a good job like regarding Korone's design. Could like do something with that. Airbrush. Can do a lot of like different textures with the airbrush. Let me recap from what I heard. Idol, Ototo, Vito, Emoto, and artist dead. That's so cool. It does look cool, menacing. Cool. I like the little stars. Yeah. But yeah, regarding my family, yeah. It's like a little bit, you have like a little bit of a mix there. But the thing is always like, I always see my dad like outside the house. No, not out of the house. Like when I'm at kindergarten, for example, he's at work. When I'm asleep, he's at work. Like back in the days. When I was in school, it was kind of like that too. Not really sure if he did like 2 work shifts or so. I like the impression, like when I think about it, like back to it, you know. Just in the moment, you know, as a kid, I didn't really have the brain to like think about things, you know. I was not really worried because he carried me. Next you're gonna say that your uncle is the president. Gosh, maybe a darker background so she could be more focused. No, there's like also the thing on like when the background is like bright, when I make hair things a little more dark with her, you know. We're gonna like see how this works, you know. If it works, cool. If it doesn't work, then okay, I tried, you know. But now I don't really get the feeling that I did something right, you know, but no, gotta try, you know, while I'm at it. Like the thing is like with art, things are not really like set in stone, you know. Like if you look like at time lapses, you know, they don't have like the image like perfectly in mind, you know. And AI, for example, is really good nowadays that it can create a time lapse, you know. Then it just like depends on like how experienced you like with drawing. You like see like some inconsistencies, you know, like, you know, it's like with speedrunning, you know, that people like can tell, hey, is this scripted or is this a natural like run, you know, kind of. A lot of like time lapses like with actual artists, they don't really like know how the end product will look like, you know, at the end of the day. They're kind of like searching, you know, which is like more authentic, you know. to like get to the optimal run. I say like Minecraft speedrun for like example because I was like looking for a lot of like that, you know, when there was like Minecraft manhunts with like dreams thing. And currently Ludwig sometimes get like hooked by Minecraft, you know, contents. He does like watch alongs, like react videos, you know, and it's pretty interesting, you know, like Ludwig, I like Ludwig's reactions and like his commentary, you know, like the insights he like gives to that, and it's pretty entertaining, you know. And I see like some banger like titles, like banger like videos, you know, that I would never have experienced otherwise. The dot looks so pretty, yeah. I kind of like try to create an aura around her, you know, something like that. The dots looks like pretty in a sense, but I kind of have like to find a pattern, you know, like from where does the energy come from, or like actually I have an idea, like, you know, like Dragon Ball, you know, like the aura, or like when they charge a key, for example, something like that. But I kind of have to like make sure like can like work with speed lines, you know, like, but I use the dots. Yeah, something like that. I kind of remember like how in some manga panels they do something like that, but now I have a color, so this can make it a little more beautiful, a lot more beautiful. But then I need a smaller try. Like when I work like in black and white for a pencil, it's a little bit more easier to like work around because there are like so limited amount of tools, you know. But in digital, I have like too many options, you know. I don't know like which to choose. So sometimes I have like to degenerate like with my thinking, you know. Like imagine I have only like this tool, you know, to like work with. Like in Passepartout, for example, you know, Starving Artist. I streamed that a lot back in the days. Like 3 times, yeah, I streamed that 3 times. You have only like 1 layer, 1 canvas, and like 9 colors, like a limited amount of colors to like choose from. And then you can get creative with that. I was like pretty creative with that. But on Clips in the Paint you have so many options. You can even use like 3D models as a reference, you know. Not only for like persons, characters, but also like for backgrounds, buildings even, you know. Which is amazing. And technically you can like make Blender some models. And then like, you know, the potential is like limitless in a sense. On what you can do there. I'm working like with different brush sizes here, trying like things out. You guys are right, the aura looks amazing, yeah, it's like battle aura, right? I kinda was like thinking, man, something like missing. I didn't like know what to do there, to be honest, you know. I was like kind of trying to like keep minimalistic, you know. And then we were like around 2 hours, you know. Now we're like almost like an hour 3. But you know, if like the end result looks good, then I'm happy, you know. It looks like a character introduction, might be, you know. She's like a little bit goofy like that, but if she like commits to the bit, she can be like really cool, you know. I think it's alright, like I try like more or less to capture, you know. maybe like work with a little bit a speedline approach, even though those dots are like a little bit random. Yeah. Have you ever had... Okay, it's a little bit random. But if you enjoyed the food, cool. I'm happy for you. Food is like a cool thing, right? Like cooking it and everything. You know, and usually I cook only for myself. But when there was opportunity to like cook for my siblings, you know, it was like pretty fun. Like you put like some work in there, you know. When you have like everyone gathered around your table, around the table, and then serve them foods, you know, and like see them eat it, you know, and like get, you know, the strength they needed, you know. It's like kind of, yeah, like, you know, cooking itself, you know, it's just like getting like some food in your stomach, you know, to be like energized. But it's like something like interesting to see, you know, like when you see other individuals, you know, eat it, you know, I don't know, like see their reactions on their faces and be like, yeah. Like a lot of animes, for example, do it like in a crazy kind of way, like a little bit more over the top, you know. Where they kind of like eat the food and they're like, oh, or when they kind of orgasm also, and then you know, like do those reaction faces, kind of, you know, something like that. But in real life, it's like, I don't know, there's like something, you know, satisfying. I don't know. I usually don't cook for myself, I'm too lazy, lol. But when do you use like, I don't know, instant noodles or so? Do you like eat muesli and then you just have like to pour milk over it, you know? Or are you like the kind of crazy person who does like, I do milk first and then cereals, you know, something like that, you know? But you know, like, there were like some like, you know, on cereals, you know, they have like the cereal packages, right? Like Kellogg's or so, or like Line cereals or whatever, you know, when they show like the thing on the, when they have like some pictures like printed on like the package, you know, usually the debate is like cereal or milk first, you know, but when it's like milk first, then the bowl, and then cereals or so, you know, like on the picture, like on the package, something like that. And I kind of when someone pointed out to me, it was kind of like, yeah, okay, it's crazy, you know. I'm getting flashbacks to Food Wars never again. I think I liked it, I know. The kind of concept for like Food Wars and like what the message was overall, like with the first 2 seasons. Instant noodles? Is cereal making you laugh? Yeah, it makes me laugh because of this kind of crazy like image, you know. Oh, I've seen that, lol. Like it's not like that meme image, you know, like where I think like some social media slide is like, you know, like quote tweeting on like, or like commenting on that like VTuber's post or so. Not really sure like what kind of brand name Twitter did that, but I saw that back in the days. But it's not the meme I think about, it's like just a serial image, you know, where they like try to like show the product in a fancy way. It was like milk splashing from behind, then the bowl, and then cereals, you know. The milk was not in the bowl, and it was like kind of like okay, yeah. This is funny, actually. It's funny when brands suddenly answer random posts, yeah. Ah yeah, do you know like the KFC Twitter account? The KFC ES or so? usually like brand names are like really serious and everything and so, but this account there for some reason is like does memes, you know? I kind of like find it hilarious. Oh, I also like the Japanese McDonald's account. I like the skits and ads they like have there. You know, like Chino's perfect math class. How does this go? How does this go? Mina! Something like that, and then something, I don't know. I do know the buzzwords like atai and then cheno or something like that. But, you know, and then the song had like kind of like words like baka 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 atashi baka janai no baka baka, you know, and then something like that. And to be honest, there's like a McDonald's ad that is like also like using a version of like Chino's perfect math class like that, you know. And I think this was like 2007 or like 2012, not really sure, but you have like so over a decade long of education when you end up at working at McDonald's. Kind of ironic, you know? Something like that. Oh, I forgot to tell you I got a freestyle kyatto. I can gift their stuff now. Wonderful. Oh, McDonald's ads are so cool. I love them. Yeah, Japanese McDonald's ads are cool. Japanese McDonald's ads are cool. They had like some things like with Alice's precious thing, you know. And also like when like something like yeah, I do know how this works, but maybe I'm not gonna like do too much there. The Miku shake fries are so cute and funny, yeah. They did a lot of stuff there. Even like they have like VTubers like Inugami Korone here, like this girl I'm like drawing here, like collab with them. She did like some ads with like McDonald's Japan, you know. And they're like pretty creative actually. I love collabs like that, yeah. It's really like, really Japanese like, you know. It's kind of like silly, but hold up, let him cook, you know. Let him cook. I could also like address like, you know, when it's like, you know, with Asian parents, you know, they have like a favorite child and then, you know, why can't you be more like him, you know, something like that, you know, like comparison, you know. I could like do that as well, but if you know, you know. I don't think like it's always like worth like addressing like the dark sheep, you know, in the like regarding like like brand name accounts also. And regarding like ads, have you seen like the French supermarket ads? If you know what I mean. Like it's like not the cute and random funny, but it's actually like something really like heartwarming and like beautiful, you know. Like it's called like I think like by Intermarché. And it's like unloved or so, like something about a misunderstood wolf or so. And I understand like what legumes means, you know. They said something about like legumes, like about like vegetables, you know. Hey, big bad wolf, have you like tried like vegetables, you know, instead of like eating meat only? And then, oh, legumes, you know, vegetables, what's that about? And then he tries like you know, collects some mushrooms, you know, and animals are like running away from him because he's like the predator also. But when he got like home, he like cooks like in a frying pan the mushrooms. They were like all like burned, but he actually like tried it, you know, even though he was like keeping expectations low. He has like kind of this tired look in his face. And when he tried them, and holy crap, this is actually banger. And then he has like a lot more life in his eyes. He looked like a lot more softer now, a lot more friendly, and then was like really interested in like cooking. And this was like really like interesting to see, you know, like the character development like going on there, and how he starts more and more like getting interested in like you know. I saw them, they were so cool. I sometimes feel like cool is the only word I know in English, but it's truly useful. Yeah. It was like kind of like the character development, you know. It was like a 2-3 minute ads or so, and it's a lot better than what Disney nowadays like produces, you know. It was just a short amount of time, but it does like deliver such a beautiful and like message also, or like just like really precious moments of like, you know, it like erupts a lot of feelings, you know, like makes you feel like a lot of like kind of good feelings, what Disney like back in the days like did, you know. I say like back in the days since like nowadays they kind of disappoint, but you know, I guess if you live long enough, you start, you know, and if you like get corrupted, consumed by the power you like have, and yeah. Actually, I should like try to like make those aura things like UB shape, but actually I think it's okay. Even though maybe I've overkilled it a little bit, but whatever. Maybe I use like a blur type. Let me use a blur. Oh, I can't not use it. I cannot use it. Okay. Blur. Actually, not bad if I like blur it. It's not bad. Yeah, it's actually better if I blur it. Oh crap, it's better if I blur it. Holy crap. But I'm gonna make sure like how strong I can go. Yeah, it's not bad. Holy crap. No, just add some shadows and then it's good. Like shadows she's standing on. It's like pretty dark shadows, so... I rap a lot. It's like, I don't know. I feel like it's 70% talking, 30% drawing. Like when I like yap, I slow down. I get distracted. It's all your fault. But you know, I enjoy it, you know. That's like the thing. I have fun. Professional artists also like slow down when they like interact with chat, by the way. Like Shigeru Sensei, you know. Like the one who does like the Lolly Kami Requiem. Sawa sawa peko, dochi dame peko, 1, 2, 3, 4, ごめんなさい。ごめんなさいが聞こえない。Like this is this VTuber artist, Shigeru Sensei. She used to not to be a VTuber back in the days, by the way, but you know, yeah. When I see you stop moving, start talking, that's when I set my goal to distract you because I mean evil. Yeah, I mean, whatever. But okay, I think like I'm done more or less. Actually, maybe let me do one more touch up. Like that I keep like everything around surrounding her like white. Like that I do like white lines around her silhouette. kind of. Like with a razor tool. So that she stands a little bit more out. Yeah. And then I have it. Oh god, I got an ad. Okay, back to YouTube, I suppose. Jesus, what a jump scare. Oh gosh. Okay, I guess it's like a way to kind of help me, you know. But there's always like YouTube, you know, which has no ads in there. Okay, I'm back. Hey, yeah, you got an ad. I was like kind of thinking, okay, YouTube time, you know, when it's like that, you know. That's also a way to support me, more or less. That was so loud, I jumped long. Yeah, I don't know, what kind of ad did you got? Was it like the supermarket one we talk about? Was it like the McDonald's, you know? I kind of think we like baited it, you know, when we talk about ads, you know. It probably was not the supermarket one, right? The supermarket one was like 2 minutes, 3 minutes or so. It was the Miku dancing with Korone. Okay, then I guess you got the good ads. I don't know. Does Twitch get sponsored? No, we call the ads. Yeah. Okay, we give them a new title idea, you know? It was always a Call of Duty, but now it's gonna be a Call of Miku, right? Or so a Call of Doog. I called it like Doog, you know, because there was like this kind of cameo like in the Doom series, you know? And they saw like Korene's like videos or so, and then okay, we're gonna do like a Doog version, you know? And it was like a canon thing, you know? Something like that. But yeah. I'm gonna save the image the first time. Oh gosh, I had to save it. This stream. I don't know, I'm not like this guy who's like used to digital art, you know. I usually don't save because I assume like it's like how my sketchbook works, but yeah, when the PC crashes, you know, then it's like lost all the effort. But okay, this has been like the art stream. This is Korone, the dog god, Inugami, dog god. By the way, dog god is a palindrome or so. If you reverse the letters, you get like the same word. Dog god. Funny, right? But in any case, you know, I'm gonna be back with our stream like in 2 days. It's on a Sunday, you know. But yeah, if I don't see you there, then surely another time. I'm not like sure like if I'm gonna stream like on the Christmas and what I will do over there. Maybe I'll do karaoke. Yeah, let's do that. No, but in any case, have a nice rest of the day, evening, good night. Have a times in the world you all are, and that is say bye bye.